Welcome to the Uncommon Transformation television series.
Nigeria and her component states have been experiencing a rough time financially since the free fall of crude oil prices in the international market, having depended heavily on the black gold for many decades for the sustenance of her economy. This has considerably eroded spending power and infrastructure development in many states. While Akwa Ibom State may not be insulated from this global crisis, the bulldozers of transformation are still working. Governor Akpabio, in a chat with Uncommon Transformation television crew, admitted the tightening financial news, but said he wasn't elected to make excuses, but rather in difficult times like this, he must seek for constitutionally permissible ways to work around the challenges to continue delivering for the people.
The reason is the passion I have for my people, the love I have for Akwa Ibom. There's so much to be done, and that so little was found on ground that up till now, 2015, this is March 2015, we are still finding out that a lot of communities are still making requests. Some are asking for their roads to be touched, some are asking that their bridges should be touched, and unfortunately, the finances are not there. But there are still some key things we must do in order to bring out the beauty of what we have done for the larger society, and that's why we are still working. So there is still a lot that we need to do, but we have to take it easy because we can't do everything in one tenor. I believe that the government is a continuum, and the next administration will definitely carry the vision to fruition. And then, of course, the tractors cannot stop working, the bulldozers cannot stop, because Akwa Ibom people are still yearning for transformation. You look at the dualization of the road between Uyo and Ikeregbene. Now, in order to decentralize the urban development and also to avoid a clot, or what I may call rural-urban drift, and then overpopulation in the urban center, particularly the capital, we had to also take one of the hotels we are building down to Ikeregbene, and we intend also that same hotel to also be sited in Iket. And so we have to do a road from Uyo that can enable people who want to patronize that place to drive in comfort. So we started a dualization of the road, and that is part of the federal highway that goes from Uyo all the way to Aba. And as I speak now, we've reached 70% in terms of construction and asphalt, but we still haven't completed the job. So how can the bulldozer stop? We must continue with the job so that simultaneously, as we are commissioning that hotel, possibly in the month of April, we should also be able to drive on a road that would almost have been completed by that time. And something that if you add 1 month in June or July, by August, the two projects would have come out. The dualized road and the completed Sheraton Hotel. And then Akwa Ibom people will be the better for it. Because it will take about 20 minutes to move from Ibom Plaza in Uyo to the hotel. The same time that it will take you to move from Ibom Plaza to the Meridian in Oran. So it's almost at the end, I'm looking at a state where you can reach every part, and everywhere will be a metropolis, and everybody will be free to live anywhere, and then we will not have overpopulation, and of course with the attendant problems of environmental situation with so much sewage and all that in the urban cities. So I will expect that Akwa will remain very clean because we have been able to decentralize the population as a result of decentralizing development.
It is worthy of mention that to this extent, the administration recently released the sum of 3.6 billion naira for completion of work at the 20th Anniversary Specialist Hospital under construction by his administration. From the pictures you are seeing now, work has progressed significantly from the last time we reached you. This is of course with an intention of meeting commissioning timelines. Again, this is a clear intention on the part of the Chief Executive that no matter the odds, the people come first.
My administration is determined to ensure that we commence the use of that hospital before we leave office. So very significant development for Akwa Ibom, because it's not just going to be that we are now a major tourist attraction in terms of people who are coming to rest, in terms of leisure, with the golf course, with the Lumeridian Hotel and all that. That the place has become a destination for the people who have seminars, who have retreats and all that. We also want to become a destination for medical tourists and people who want to have the best, in terms of Medicare. And that is why that hospital, the signing of that memorandum was very significant. And what does it entail? There you have a hospital that is probably one of the largest in terms of hospitals in the country. If we were to have normal beds, we could accommodate up to 1,000 beds. So you are looking at any hospital that has up to 1,000 beds will be a very big hospital. But this time we decided to make it very executive. It's a hospital for major ailments that requires specialized skills. And so we have up to 308 suites. And we also have wards for children, wards for gynecology, that is for pregnant women and for deliveries and all that. And then, of course, we intend to do open heart surgery. We intend to do kidney transplant, liver transplant, eye surgeries, all sorts of things are going to be done there. And it's not every hospital can do that. And so, rightly, that is going to be the first quaternary hospital in West Africa. In other words, it will be the first hospital in West Africa that is higher than a teaching hospital.
Health is wealth, so nothing is going to constitute a blockade against this noble ideal. The hospital is huge. From the inpatient acute wards to other patient bays, it can accommodate a combined total of 315 beds. A glance at construction basic data shows the floor area of the hospital is composed as follows. Main building, 33,750 square meters. Service building, 8,560 square meters. Support buildings, made up of mortuary, powerhouse and waste management, etc., 1,250 square meters. The gross area of the site is a massive 7.8 hectares. The hospital will have the capacity to handle open heart surgeries and many other specialized treatments. The design philosophy of the hospital is such that when approaching the hospital from the main entrance, one will be led into the atrium hall with central reception, which is conceptualized to blend with the interior layout and courtyards to assist in orientating both patients and visitors, as well as provide a feeling of not being confined, but rather belonging to an inviting open house with close contact with nature. In order for this hospital to take off from the starting blocks in a flawless manner, the state government only days ago signed a memorandum of understanding with the medical consortium for management of the hospital.
We had the vision of building the best healthcare facility in West Africa. didn't know it was going to be a reality. So now it has become a reality. So with the signing of this management agreement today, I can say that this is the beginning of a revolution in medical tourism as far as Nigeria is concerned. This has been aptly described as the first veterinary hospital in Nigeria, which means it is the standard is expected to be higher than that of the teaching hospital by us, and the world must know about this. If you don't know about it, they can come. And I'm happy that we were able to put that together, and we will make this possible. So let me in advance congratulate Akpabio Medical Services Limited and welcome my brothers from the Swiss and American Hospital Management Group and RAC hospitals group. I've been to your hospital, so I know the standards. And also congratulate the good people of Bible for this leap, this quantum leap.
Leader of the team responds.
Down from where we are now. I can assure you this hospital within the next year, 50% of the patients going abroad will not go abroad. The level of healthcare here is going to be incredible. 640 CT/CT scan. It's even in the US, only a handful of hospitals have the CT scan. We are going to be doing procedures that are done in places like Johns Hopkins, Baylor University. This is what the standard we are getting to. But I don't have a problem. One major problem I see is the airport is going to be too small. Because by the time this thing starts, there will not be enough space for the planes that will come in. There will not be. It will be like Dubai. People will be coming in for healthcare from all over West Africa, from all over Africa. So, Your Excellency, this is a wonderful achievement. And the other shortcoming is that we don't have a helicopter to be picking people around the country. This hospital is going to be busy. It's going to be overwhelming. The health infrastructure is just going to change. All the Nigerian doctors abroad who are trapped, they want to come back home, nowhere to come to. There is finally somewhere. We have the expertise, we just didn't have the infrastructure. But now it is created in Akpabio, and Your Excellency, this has changed again.
This hospital is one of the flagship projects of the Akpabio-led administration. It comes with all essential facilities ranging from emergency departments, laboratory, imaging department with MRI scan, CT room and room for various X-ray facilities, functional diagnostic with endoscopy, OT department with recovery and ICU, dialysis, sterilization area, obstetrics and neonatal care, amongst many others. The hospital can be described as a center of excellence with services such as pediatrics, gynecology, internal medicine, dentistry, and many other services available. In addition to all these, there will be retail and coffee shops, as well as chapel integrated into the hospital street on the ground floor. Commissioner for Health, Akwa Ibom State, Dr. Ememabasi Basi, says the good times are here and that he is excited about prospects in the health subsector.
Yes. We have actually settled an operator and we've actually signed the MOU. Now the operator is Cardiocare Nigeria Limited. Cardiocare Nigeria because it has to be incorporated in Nigeria, but it's actually a consortium of 3 groups. You have the first cardiology consultants, and the first cardiology consultants is actually run by a pair of Nigerians from the diaspora. These are American board certified, cardiologists who are in Nigeria. You also have the American Hospitals Management Group. Now, this is a management company that actually manages hospitals across the world. And then the third group is Arabian Healthcare. Arabian Healthcare, through its external arm, MedConnect. Now, Arabian Healthcare owns some hospitals in the United Arab Emirates. One of them, which if you really are quite popular, is the RAK Hospital, RAK, Ras Al Khaimah Hospital in the Emirates. Now, I would say that what were we looking for in an operator? First of all, we're looking for an international brand that has a pedigree. Now, for example, you say something you easily recognize. Well, like I've just mentioned, RAK, and the people who go to the Emirates all know about the RAK Hospital. It's one of the best in the Emirates there. So we're looking for that, an international brand. Also, we're looking for people who had a good financial plan, because what we're looking for is not for the government to run this hospital, forever. But we're looking for people who had a good financial plan to ensure sustainability. And then these operators actually were able to, to show us a proper, 10-year financial plan that showed that at some point the hospital breaks even and actually starts to make, a profit. We're also looking for an operator who was actually totally ready, to actually pass on technology, training, because we would not expect this hospital to be run by foreigners forever. After 10 years, we hope that we should have built up enough capacity locally, right, to be able to run that hospital. So they also had that in their proposal, their presentation, having about between 10 to 15% of staff, local staff, being trained internationally every year. So that's what we're looking at. Then finally, we're looking for, I would say, people who were at home in the Nigerian environment. Because it's one thing for you to bring somebody from the UK. He's done so well in the UK, but he comes here, that's a different environment. That's the component the first cardiology consultants added. People who are already working in the Nigerian environment, are already used, to best practices within the Nigerian environment. So basically, that was, what I would say informed the final choice, right, of the operators, Cardiocare Nigeria Limited.
A member of the management consultants, Engineer Oliver Ebong, who spoke to Uncommon Transformation television crew on a variety of issues, said most equipment for installation is on ground.
As me and you are talking, not less than 80% of the equipment are here on the ground. What we are trying to do is ensure that the environment for them to be installed is totally ready. And part of the challenges of getting the environment ready is the weather, because many of these equipments are very sensitive. They are sensitive also to the humidity in the environment where they are going to be installed. And apart from getting those places ready, we must equally get the humidity low enough according to the specifications. So we are getting all that ready, and that is why some of them, we are not seeing the installations proceeding very far up to this moment. But we are almost getting our targeted humidity levels. So I'm sure as we enter the following week, which is from day after tomorrow, the equipment installation will start in earnest.
Engineer Ebong provides further insights into benefits of this project.
Is built to the very latest degree of accuracy in terms of the services, latest degree of diagnostic ability of all the machines you are having, because we are having top-of-the-mark machines. For example, the MRI here is rated at being able to provide 640 slides. Most of what you see is either 32 or much lower than that. So we are talking about a top-of-the-mark hospital, that the equipment that are being used are the very latest in the technology, and then the personnel being earmarked to come in here are those that have been filtered and proven in different similarly rated hospitals in the world before being pulled together here. And those who are going to operate it have been highly pre-qualified and seen to be able to offer the kind of services we want, and they are on the expectation of being able to offer even higher quality of service here than what they've done previously.
The United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, in one of her policy statements, advised governments globally to set aside 26% of annual budgets to fund education. This underscores the importance of education to the growth of any nation or state. For a man like Governor Akpabio, who almost lost the opportunity to attend secondary school for lack of money, he did not need any prompting to know he must change the fortunes of Akwa Ibom child. Therefore, as governor, he instituted the policy of free and compulsory education in the state. Not surprisingly, he told Uncommon Transformation that this is probably one policy of his administration that is so dear to his heart.
That is one policy that touches my heart. We have built over 6,000 classroom blocks. We have renovated a lot of existing schools, and we are still doing so. And then we have also tried to build new schools, and we will do more. The education is one policy that is very dear to my heart. And of course, also looking at the fact that we have the Federal University here, and then we now have so many children who are graduating. You know, we pay NECO fees for all of them when they get to the final year. We pay YA fees for all of them. So education is totally free. Even those who are doing technical education, we pay their final fees also for them. And that runs into millions of naira, hundreds of millions. And so for me, that policy is one policy that has affected all the families in the state, irrespective of your strata. And it has made it possible for a lot of our children who were enslaved in places like Gabon, in Liberia, in Ghana, in many other places, in Mali, to come back home. And many of them were in Lagos, on the streets of Lagos, selling groundnut and newspapers, and in Port Harcourt, and in Abuja and all that. They are all back home now. Of course, it was a problem at the beginning, because some of them were orphans. So we had to set up a home here we call Divine Children's Home. And I built a permanent structure for them now, which I'm going to commission in the next few weeks. To God be the glory. So many of them, we have over 800 to 1,000 of them who are now in school, in various schools. They are in schools wearing uniform and they are well fed. And if you see them, you will not know that these are orphans and these are children who have no parents. But I'm excited because we have brought succor to those who were hopeless, and I think that is what government is all about. Taking the place of God on earth, because government should be next to God.
The quest to develop Akwa Ibom into a model state in all spheres of economic and human endeavors comes with a lot of hard work and responsibility. This task Governor Akpabio has not shied away from. Despite the challenges of dwindling cash flow, major projects across the state are still going on. For instance, the dualization of the Kodakmene Highway all the way to Aba in Abia State is moving with renewed vigor to breast the finishing tape. The governor spoke on other subjects, for instance, his vision for investing public funds in developing the Akwa Ibom International Stadium. Coincidentally, the NNPC Mobile Track and Field event was hosted in the Nest of Champions recently. It is a fact that this administration has done well in developing both the mental and physical infrastructure of Akwa Ibom State. In doing this, the governor says he never engaged in acts inimical to the interests of the people. There is no doubt that the atmosphere at the moment is politically charged. Thus, obscenities being hurled at his administration are not altogether unexpected. The governor opened up on the alarming 600 billion naira being bandied around by the opposition as the amount allegedly owed by his administration. The state chief executive said this is untrue and asked Akwa Ibom people not to pay attention to baseless accusations. Fact is, with crashing oil prices and the subsequent loss of revenue by the state, measures were being taken to augment the state finances for the sake of ongoing projects. He thus approached the State House of Assembly with a proposal to borrow some money. The legislature in 2013 approved borrowing the sum of 80 billion naira, out of which a large chunk of that money has been repaid. He sheds more light.
When we realized that the economy was going down, the finances were dwindling in 2012, 2013. It was only in 2013 that we decided to go for the first loan. And so we first took loan to complete most of the big projects that we were doing at that time. And then today, I can tell you that all we have borrowed as a state, amount to about 80 billion naira. And then, as I speak now, we have paid back over 30. So the state is not indebted to even up to 50 billion. And probably by the time I leave office, we may not have a debt profile of up to 45 billion. For a state with the kind of infrastructure we have built that are capable of generating revenue from the independent power plant itself, is now a revenue earner, down to the hotels, the revenue earners, down to the hospitals, revenue earners. So I don't think, down to even the international airport revenue, I don't think it's too much. So when people are writing that the state is owing 100 or 150 or 200, I always say, some will write that the state is owing 600 billion, I laugh, because they don't understand. We are not even owing up to 10% of the propaganda by the opposition, because they want to win election.
After borrowing and investing billions in providing infrastructure, what next for maintenance of these edifices? With barely weeks to leaving office, from all indications, Governor Akpabio will be winding down stronger than he started. The people call it uncommon transformation.
Uncommon Transformation television series brings to you the latest information of the monumental achievements of the Governor Akpabio-led administration. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube to read the latest news, watch amazing videos and listen to in-depth analyses and interviews with the men and women working hand-in-hand with stakeholders to make Akwa Ibom State better. You can also log on to our website www.uncommontransformation.tv for more information. Uncommon Transformation television series, bringing to you the right and current information when you need it. Welcome to the Uncommon Transformation television series,